So one of the very first videos I posted under Toymanoids was I talked about I don't have a lot of my childhood toys anymore. I went through a phase where I was just getting rid of everything. I sold my Star Wars, I sold my G.I. Joe, my He-Man I just gave away. But a lot of stuff just over the years I just got rid of. But there's a few things that I held on to. And I was cleaning my closet recently and I was going through some stuff and I found a bag that was kind of like vacuum sealed that I completely forgot was in there. But it's things I'd held on to. I want to show you what those are. Some of my toys from when I was super little. Some of them, one of them I'm going to show you, it's like I don't remember life without this one. That's like as soon as I could form thoughts, this toy was there with me. But let's take a look. Now, a majority of the things I want to show you are stuffed animals. For some reason, I guess I had a lot of stuffed animals. And when we started going through things as I got older, I know my mom would always say, pick out the ones you really like, and we'll save those. And a few just kept on getting saved. And eventually, I guess they got put away and sealed and saved to where I completely forgot about them. Now, actually, I found Alf a few years ago, and I pulled him out of storage. And this is one my grandma had got me. She she would watch Alf, and I don't know if she knew that Alf was like a puppet. The way she talked about him sometimes is like, do you know that's not real? But I think she enjoyed the show, and I think she got a kick out of Alf. So it's a fond memory watching Alf with my grandma, and she got me this stuffed animal, which I've always loved, and I'm glad I still have it because it's just a really cool 80s, reminder, something that's I had a lot of fun watching, and a really cool character and a fun stuffed animal. So I'm definitely glad I have this one. I'll probably put him with my new My Pet Monster, so he'll display well with it. Now these next few pieces, they're nothing rare, they're nothing out of the ordinary, but it's just something I had attachments to. I have this gray stuffed bear, another present from my grandma. I'd always loved this bear for some reason. I think it was super soft, and at the time it was huge. In my carrying this around, this thing felt like it was like half the size of me. But it's just one of those things that every time I'd go through the purge of toys and stuff, he made the cut and held on to him. And I'm glad I still have him. He probably won't go on display, but I'm probably gonna hang on to this guy for a little while. This next guy is a hand-me-down. It is something that kind of showed. I didn't pick this one out, and he just kind of showed up in my collection of stuffed animals growing up. But we have this little dog, and you can tell he's seen better days. He's definitely been played with and loved. This is one I think my brothers had growing up, and I inherited it when they got older. But yeah, I look at it and just takes me back to my childhood. I think it's really cool. And I had pound puppies and things like that. And I didn't keep those, but I kept this dog for some reason. Now here's one I had a blast with growing up. Had this little monkey. I don't even know when I got him. I feel like I was living in Germany at the time when he showed up. But he has a little squeaky. It still squeaks. But he used to do my brothers would have a display with this with me, and make jokes and stuff. He's got a little tongue in there. Let me see if I can straighten him out. From being in storage, his tongue's kind of lost his shape. But I love this guy, and he always made the cut. I guess because it was always just so funny. I just remember just laughing and having a good time, and he'd make this monkeys do all sorts of stuff and say stuff, and it's had so much character. He's just a little floppy puppet. But I love this guy, and definitely gonna stick with me for a while. Glad I never got rid of him. He just, looking at him now, just makes me laugh. So there you go. And oh man, he doesn't look like much, but man, this guy was my favorite. There again, as long as I remember being on this planet, I had him by my side as a little kid. We moved to Germany when I was 3. I remember taking him on the plane with me. He was my partner flying to Germany. And I just always loved this rabbit. He slept with me every night. Look at him. He has seen some things. He went everywhere. I never really had I know some kids had a safety blanket or something like that. he wasn't really like my safety animal, like something I had to have with me, but I took him everywhere just for the fun of it. And he was like, you take a stuffed animal to sleep with. He was definitely my little sleep stuffed animal buddy. And he's a puppet. I mean, you can go in there and you can move his arms around. And look at his little tooth. His tooth is barely hanging on. He has seen, and I think my mom's had to glue his eyes on a few times when I was little. I think his eyes had popped off. He is and he's probably been to the washing machine several times. He definitely could use it again. But I love him as he is now just because, man, he's seen some adventures. And just look at him now, it's like takes me back to when I was a kid. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. It's like, hey, this little like, gray bunny is my favorite. He wasn't based on any cartoon. He's not, a character of any sort. He was just a stuffed animal. He was just that goofy face on there. But man, this has to be like the oldest thing I have of something I've owned. And this happens to be this stuffed gray animal, this gray stuffed bunny. Now we're going to take a little trip down to my studio where I've had this in storage for a while. It's another piece that I could just never get rid of. It's something I've always loved. I've had the figures and stuff here, but I'm going to take those down. We're going to do a little setup. I'm going to show you something I've just loved ever since I was a little kid. So let's go, let's take a trip. We'll see you down there. So I ventured down here on a hot August day. It's like in the high 90s down here in Georgia. But I really want to show you a piece I have stored down here. I got this in Germany when I was 4. It was like Christmas. It was the Christmas before He-Man. I got the Castle Grayskull one Christmas. This is what I got the year before. And man, I loved it. And I never had the heart to get rid of it or sell it. This is one of the things I just want to keep. Like, this feels important to me. I don't know why. Above all my Star Wars figures and G.I. Joes and my He-Man. So let me show you. Let me flip you around and show you what I got. So we have the Medieval Castle playset. Now these are a mix of different lines. My parents got them all for me at the same time. You can still get these today pretty cheap. You have like these, this one has like a metal base. And these are more detailed for sure. Like, yeah, I always called this the King Arthur. I don't know, it's just a king. But I really like those figures a lot. Then like your more standard kind of like your plastic G.I. Joe men. But these had some paint detail. They were pretty cool. And you can still get these today too. They're not crazy expensive. West Germany. But a lot of fun. And then the castle. I know they sold them a lot together in a lot of the toy stores there. But this, you can tell it's not really scaled for these type of things. But as a kid, that didn't matter. I mean, I never even thought of it when I was a kid. The only thing I could think, I couldn't put like the Knights of the Doors or anything like that. But man, I would have so much fun playing with this thing. Then we have an Imperial Dragon. I had a couple. This is the one I got with the playset. I also have like a three-headed one. But they come with these like cool accessories. You have the, I don't know, the name is dropped, like giant, like archer, but they're huge, We have catapults over here, and they used to work. Some of these have rubber bands, but they'd actually shoot things out. Some of the more detailed knights, and some of the weapons have broken over the years. And I thought about getting on eBay and buying a few more. But yeah, I had so much fun setting these guys up. And you had like all the little things, you can put them over here, have them falling off the side of the castle, have the castle being, attacked. Had this piece here. This is it's been a little messed up over time, but it's for it to be in this condition because it's kind of a cheaper plastic. It's pretty thin, but it still held up pretty well. And like I've said before, I played with my toys. I was not gentle. I wasn't like destructive, but I had fun with them. Take you around to the back of the castle here. But yeah, there's so much potential for things you could play and do. And even toy photography. I mean, if I did some cool photo shoots with some cool lighting, this would be a lot of fun. Like a little miniature, But yeah, it's something super simple, but it's captured my imagination. Ever since then, I'd always had a fascination for medieval knights and movies. Like movies like Excalibur, I love that. Legend, Willow. Has a drawbridge. But yeah, there's my medieval castle that I keep down here at my studio. But let's get out of here because it's super hot and I'm really sweaty. But I'll see you back in my room. And we're back. Man, super hot at my studio. It's not air conditioned down there. And down in here at Augusta, Georgia, it's been very hot. It's been up in the 100s. Today it's actually really nice. We have some rain to kind of cool things off. But when I was down there, it was a scorcher. But I want to show you who made that castle, or who made those knights. Like I said, in Germany, they kind of always put them together in the same section to kind of sell them all together. But they are all different companies, and I'm going to show you online what they were called. So if you look up Eco Spielwarren, you can look up Eco Spielwarren Castle, and you'll get those castles. And you can still buy them like on eBay today. That one looks really similar to what I have. So it has the name of the castle there. But yeah, Eco Spielwarren. And even I didn't know the name. I took a picture and I put it in Google. And it popped these up. There might be like an imprint or something somewhere on there, but I've never looked for it. I've just always enjoyed the castle for what it was. And the all plastic knights on the bottom of their stand, it has W Germany. So if you type in W Germany plastic knight, you'll see, what most of those are. And there's been bunches of them. Like you can tell these here, I don't know if the paint's maybe just rubbed off on them. Looks like there's always been, various versions of these. Those look a little different, not really what I had. But you can still find them like on eBay. And they're usually not very expensive, but for me, there's always been a lot of fun. And yeah, some of them had a lot better paint than what I had. But yeah, W Germany was, I guess, the brand, kind of, sort of. And then these here, if you were looking for them, they're called, on the bottom of their stand, it says Britain's Ltd. And their company name is Deetail, Deetail. You just type in that, and the night, get up a bunch of showings on there. And you can get these on eBay pretty cheaply. Now I looked at them because man, I'm missing the swords. A lot of the swords and stuff broke on mine. I'm like, maybe I can replace those, but I haven't yet. I maybe need to do that. I'm always what if these you don't find them one day? But I feel like there's a bunch of them on eBay. They're not going for crazy amounts of money. But I never before the internet, I just remember we left Germany. I'd always thought I'll never find these again in my life because I got them in Germany. And I remember going to a store here in America in Augusta when I was older, it's like years later. And there was a kind of like a train model shop, and in the back they had a little glass display that had a bunch of figures that had some of these exact types with the green, the detail ones. It's like, oh man, look at that. And at that time, those seemed like they were pretty pricey. Like, I feel like that was like in the 90s, and I feel like they're like $30 that was a lot for me back then for a little figurine. But they're a lot cheaper now, and you can find them. But man, I've always loved these little knights. So it's one thing I just never can see parting with. I'll always keep those little figures, and maybe one day have a large enough area where I can display them all out, like on a table, and just have them all out there. But yeah, there's the blast from a past. The toys I had as a child, the very few that have made it all these years. So it's you hear a lot of collectors, they talk about things they lost all their toys or got rid of all their toys. And there's some you see like, this is my childhood collection. I'm like, wow, how cool is that to have kept, all that stuff. So I didn't keep everything. There's a few things I kept, and I'm glad I have those. It really brings back memories. And to think at the time of like all the years growing up, those are things that like no matter what, like I don't want to get rid of this. I'll get rid of my G.I. Joes, but I'm not going to get rid of my gray stuffed bunny or my knights. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed checking out my old toys. I definitely enjoyed going down memory lane and thinking about those times when I was a little kid. So thank you for watching. If you enjoy this kind of content, please give me a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.